Hey there, it's Hoang with Hand Therapy Seekers. Welcome to my show today. Today is just going to be me talking to you. So I had a few questions on Instagram and through my emails and stuff like that, and I thought, what a great opportunity to answer them in long form. Now, if you followed me before, you might have seen me talk a lot on Instagram and share it to Facebook and the stories and stuff like that. But I thought I would come on and just share a little bit of my stories and a little bit about what I think to help to inspire you as occupational therapists or physical therapists who want to go into hand therapy. So that's the whole point of the show. It's, share with you different people in the community that are doing like amazing and great things so you can see what's possible for you in your career as well. And then also I show like skills and stuff like that. So today I'm going to share with you something inspirational, hopefully inspirational. So one of the questions that I got was, what am I looking to do on this platform? So what am I looking to do on this platform is I want to help occupational therapists just like yourself, physical therapists just like yourself, who want to move into hand therapy and specialize into hand therapy, right? This is something that happened to me very early on in my career. I actually just got off. I get on strategy calls with different therapists, and we sort of answer a lot of these same type of problems. Like, the whole premise of this platform was, how do you get a job in hand therapy if you don't have experience, and how do you get experience if you can't get a job in hand therapy, right? Sort of goes back to who's in your circle, who influences you in your life, right? I know that sounds kind of so strange from like, well, what are you doing with this platform? So let me kind of go backwards in time a little bit before I go forwards in time a little bit. So I have two best friends, right? That we go, I'm very fortunate in my life to have tons of great friends, but I have two best friends that go way, way, way back, like middle school back. So we became friends in middle school. I have been with these ladies for 30 plus years. They came before my husband, they came before my kids. These are my ride and die bitches, right? We have made it through school and college and like our first, several years of coming out in our career and like just really developing our career. And it was funny because I was talking to one of them. She lives in Texas. I was talking to one of them about what I was doing with my own career when I first started. So my degree in psychology, and then I got my master's in occupational therapy, and then I started to dive into hand therapy, right? So I just, coming out of school, I was the same way that you are. If you're a new grad coming out of school, I was the same exact way. Couldn't find a full-time job to save my life, took per diem jobs, but I think the difference, I was very strategic in what I was doing, right? And then there were various key things I was doing to ensure that I was moving in the direction that I wanted to move into, which is towards hand therapy. And ultimately, I wanted to specialize in it and become a certified hand therapist. And I know that I talk to a lot of people who want that for themselves as well. And what happens is sometimes you get stuck, right? So it goes back, who's in your circle? So my best friends, I was very fortunate to be friends with some of the top people. They were valedictorian and salutatorian, right? So not so much about grades, but they were very ambitious people. They're very positive people, they're very driven people. And I think it very much helped me in my career in general to be around people who were like that, right? And it's important when I look to create this type of platform where I have created a mentorship program, it's a Hand Therapy Mentorship program, and I've created Orthosis 101 and the hand exam prep program. This is all in preparation to create a platform where I could find people who are like-minded, who I can create this circle for, right? Not only do I want to create this circle for them, but I'm essentially kind of creating it for myself too. So when I go back to thinking about this question of like, what am I doing this platform? It makes me think of who's in my circle. You know, there's positive people in your life that, and it doesn't have to be in therapy, right? So my two best friends, they're not therapists. They're not in the medical field at all. They're actually math and science people. So, but who's in your circle really makes a difference. There's positive people in your life that will pour into you positive energy, that will tell you you can do it, that will show you and support you that you could do it, right? And then there's people in your life that are negative people, that they're just gonna drain your energy, right? So who's in your circle makes a huge difference in like where you're going, how fast you're going. And it doesn't necessarily mean you gotta cut negative people out of your life. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you gotta be careful with how much of your energy you allow that to take and drain from you. And it's very easy to do that. So if you're sitting around with a lot of people who are saying like, well, you know, OT sucks, PT sucks, I can't get a job, I don't have a job that I like. So those people, we all have moments like that. I'm not saying we don't have moments like that. I definitely had moments like that. It's about how fast you get out of those moments, you know? What actions are you taking to get yourself out of those moments? So I've created this platform so that I can show you that when you are in those negative moments, like, oh, you know, I really want a job in hand therapy and I just can't get a job in hand therapy. Well, I've provided a solution for you, right? I've provided an option for you, and then it's your choice whether to join me or not. So I don't want to just say like, oh, it's positive. Like, oh, I don't want to say like, oh, OT is so great, hand therapy is so great. I want to show it to you. I want to show it to you. I want to prove it to you that there's things in your career that you can do. There's things in your life that you can do that would turn the tide and present with you opportunities, right? Present for you opportunities. And not just like positive talk, not just like you can do it. Like, I'm not just your cheerleader. Like, I don't want to just be your cheerleader. I want to help you take actionable steps. So a lot of times I talk about strategy. If you're a brand new grad, if you're hanging out with people in your circle that is like saying and doing very negative things, it's very easy to draw you into it. So what can you do to step yourself out of that? You can still be friends, like I still hang out with people and, you know, whatever. But how do you also step out of that and get that balance of someone who's gonna show you positivity, who's gonna show you there's a way and that it's very possible to get that job in hand therapy, right? So I'll include the links to my programs down here on this show. But when you are thinking about like, how do I get that job in hand therapy? Well, first of all, it is hard to get a position in an outpatient hand therapy clinic if you have no experience, right? What can you do to get yourself some experience? What do you need to do to move towards that position? So first of all, I always talk about getting key jobs that can propel your career. Getting key jobs that will allow you to work with people who have hand and arm types of injuries. And I think no matter what area that you work in, you could be working in a skilled nursing facility, in a rehab setting. When I worked in a hospital setting, I had the opportunity to work in acute care, the opportunity to work in rehab and help the therapist work in rehab, because all those people tend to have hand and arm types of injuries too that you could really help. So that can help you to think a little bit outside the box, develop some of your skills, because as a therapist, we should come out of school knowing what to do, right? In the sense that we know how to look at someone and say, okay, what are your problems? What are some of your issues that I, as an occupational therapist, could help you with? If you have a problem with, being able to get dressed, well, what does getting dressed require? It requires being able to remove your arms in a certain way without pain, right? So that you could do that. So part of it's like getting that position, and then what do you need to do next to make sure that if your goal is to be a certified hand therapist, if your goal is to get into hand therapy, how do you not get quote unquote stuck in that job? Now you might love it, you might like it. So just a little backstory, I got into acute care and I loved acute care. I think I could have been that acute care therapist who just stayed and like specialized in that care in that arena had I not moved into, you know, outpatient. And if you move into outpatient, I've met CHTs that worked in outpatient settings and then they went and moved back into hospital-based setting, like acute care, working with some burns or you know, just generalized acute care where they got to work with a lot of people who had substantial injuries at the beginning. So what you create is just a love for your career, and you know, who you hang out with can play a role in that in terms of like, what can I do next? Like, what do I want to do that's going to like make a difference in someone else's lives? And if I make a difference in someone else's life, it's going to make a difference in my life because I'm going to enjoy what I'm doing, you know? So essentially that goes back to the question of what am I looking to do in this platform, which is to show you, and not just to say it, right? To show you that it is possible to create a platform, to create a community of people who are like-minded like yourselves, want to live in a way that's very positive, where you know you take positive energy, you know, fill your cup, then you can pass it along to the next person. So I've done that. I've done that in terms of this platform in particular, but you know, you could do it in other aspects of your life. It doesn't have to just be in a therapy world. And I think that's where I was going with, you know, my best friends who've been with me for over 30 years, that they were very positive examples for me. I think we were very positive examples for each other, and it allowed me to see like, wow, they are able to do this and this with their career. And I actually was just talking to one of them, and she told me how proud she was of me creating this type of platform, because she was like, when you were studying, you know, psychology, I kind of was thinking, what are you gonna do with that? But regardless of what she thought, like, oh my God, what is she gonna do with that? She really supported me in my career. She's always supported me. They have always supported me and helped me along the way. So you need to know who's in your circle, like who's giving you that positivity, who's showing you the way, versus those that are really negative and just taking energy. So it doesn't mean that you can't be friends with them. I have people who are in my family that are like that. You just kind of have to limit that a certain amount, but then keep the positivity coming. And some of the positivity is, it could be friends, created a community of therapists in your area. I know that it can be really, really hard sometimes to create that in your area, but sometimes it's in a form of a paid, a mentorship type of program, paid coaching type of program. And so that's what I've done with this platform. I want to not just share the ideas, right? Or not just show it that your career can be positive, but I want to prove it. I'm gonna prove it. So I'm proving it in the way of my mentorship program. So when you think about mentorship program, I want to challenge you. It's one thing to be able to call up a friend here and there to say, hey, you know, what do you think about this and that, you know, because you already have a lot of knowledge maybe, but sometimes you need a mentorship program, especially when you're first getting started. One, when you're first getting started out of school. Two, when you're moving into developing more skills. So who can this really benefit, like this type of mentorship type of program or being in this type of community? It can be someone who's brand new out of school, right? So you're out of school, you feel like you don't know enough. This is a great opportunity to join the Hand Therapy Mentorship, because I've got students in there who are really, they're new out of school, they're looking to develop their skills, and they're looking to develop it pretty fast, right? Or maybe they've gotten those positions, but now they're working alone and they need some help. And not just like sporadic help here and there, it's consistent help. And that's the biggest thing between like my programs and other people's programs, is like it's consistently every week. right? Every week, no, it's consistent. Right. The other one is it's for people who are looking to shift. So if you've been enjoyed working in a certain setting for a while, but now you're looking for a change, well, you have certain skills already. Don't think you don't have skills. I know you have skills. Now it's just like, how can we take that particular skill, learn some new things, and apply it to this hand therapy setting, right? So that's number 2 who could really benefit from this. And then of course, those are the ones that they are certified already, they've worked into certain specialties, but they want to develop more skills. And so that's what this platform is looking to do. And with this platform that I'm looking to not just show motivation or show positivity, but also prove it, I also want to create a circle, right? A community of therapists who want and value the same things that I want and value. And I think that that's really, really important when you're looking for someone, to work with, right? So I'm going to show my stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to purchase anything from me. I mean, obviously it'd be great to work with you, but it doesn't have to just be me. It can be anyone in your community. Let's say if you are fortunate enough to work in an environment where someone has the time to give you mentorship consistently, then count your blessings, and then keep learning, keep taking different courses, keep going to conferences that will help pour into you so that you can, help the patients that come your way, help the students that come your way. And this platform is definitely for someone who they're looking for that circle. They're looking for that community where they can get the help that they need right away, and they can get the help consistently. All right, that's the key thing. Consistently get the help that they need. So I hope that you have enjoyed this segment of the show in terms of, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's because I really do think, and I really do know in my heart, that we all crave and want this type of community where we're looking for people who value what we value, want what we want, and that's what I'm looking to build here. And I don't want to just say it, I want to show it, and I want to prove it to you that it's possible to have the career that you want. It's going to take some time. I mean, hands-on therapy services did not happen overnight, but it can happen much faster than you think when you enter into a environment that keeps you motivated, that is consistent, and that is the power of being in a paid group versus just every once in a while asking a friend. We all have friends that we can go to, but when you join something that is paid, there's a huge difference. That you will get out of it, because you're gonna just show up. You're not gonna want to waste your money. You're gonna show up, and when you're ready to show up, I'm gonna be there for you, right? So I hope you enjoyed this segment, the show, the Hoang show, and I hope to see you next week.